Okay, good morning. I'm back. I don't know what happened. Some technical difficulties this morning. Now I'll just wait now a moment or so. We can say hello to some folks and hopefully you're getting your notices. Here we are. We're on the right one. Here we go. Annette, good morning. How are you? I was, you can never throw me a curveball because I don't do well with curveballs. Georgie, how are you? Mike from Norland, good to have you on. Okay, now we got a crew. I knew something was wrong when I came on a little bit earlier. Beto, Dawn from Dayton, Ohio. Well, good morning, Dayton, Ohio. Susan, Rita, good morning. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Nancy, good morning. Yeah, see, now much better. Wendy from Markham, good morning. And Annalisa, nice to have you on. Yolanda, bonjour. Nice to have you on. Yolanda. Monette, bonjour. Good to have you. Okay, we got a good crowd on. Here we go. Marilyn, Kelowna. Bright and early in Kelowna this morning. Pam, good morning. And I'll wait for a few more here and then we'll get going. Karen. And Kevin. Kevin, you're not back from your holidays yet? Still out in Nouveau Brunswick? Julia, good morning. And a few more. Margaret. And Samuel. Nice having you. And two more. Mary. It's just I'm serious. Our scroll is very slow. Donna. And good morning, Donna. Nice to have you back with us. Okay, let's get going, Janice. I know I missed so many because, well, now it's even worse because I don't know what's going on with scrolling, but Kevin's telling me he'll be home next week. Penny, good morning. And okay, let's do a couple of stories that I read on the weekend. And Bobby from Mexico. Well, good morning, Bobby from Mexico. Good to have you on. Colette and Fran, good morning. And Annette from Nouveau Brunswick. Don't be confused, guys. Don't be confused. Don't be confused. You know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Don't be confused. If you want to know how bad nutrition, how gurus, how bad it is, how much false information there is, this will give you a classic migraine just thinking about this. We sort of commented on it the other day, but there's going to be a White House conference on nutrition. I don't know why they didn't invite me. First of all, I'd love to go to the White House. Wouldn't you? I would. And be invited. I don't know if they're actually having the conference inside the White House, but they're calling it a White House conference. And the leading guy is from Tufts. T-U-F-T-S. Tufts. I don't know how to say that. Tufts University. You would think he'd be pretty smart. Okay? PhD in nutrition. You'd think he'd be pretty smart. But here's what he classified. And some of you have actually posted this on our private Facebook group. The Martin Clinic Facebook group. Some of you posted it, and he's doubling down on it. He has got frosted mini wheats. What else? Honey Nut Cheerios, orange juice and ice cream ahead of, listen to this, ahead of eggs cooked in butter and ground beef. Now, can you imagine what that conference is going to be like? Guys, unbelievable. Frosted mini wheats are better for you, according to the head of this conference, than eggs cooked in butter. It shows you guys, or it ought to show us, how upside down nutrition is in our society today. As you guys know, I'm a history guy. I love history. I love history, nations' histories. I love food history. I really dwell in the past in a lot of things, because I like to look at what in the H happened. What in the double hockey stick happened? H-E double hockey stick. What happened to nutrition? How did it get so crazy that someone would actually say, with a PhD in nutrition, would actually say, eat your frosted mini wheats, drink orange juice, or Honey Nut Cheerios over eating eggs because they're cooked in butter? How could that ever happen? How could that happen? How could someone double down on that? Well, I'll tell you how it happens. I'll tell you how it happens. You get a phobia. And I talk to a lot of physicians. They have phobias. And unfortunately, the media, because they're bought and paid for by the pharmaceutical industry, bought and paid for by not only Big Pharma, but Big Food, Kellogg's, Unilever, Kraft, these big companies, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola. They own everything, guys. There's 7 or 8 of them out there, and that's Unilever. They own it all. And then you got Big Pharma. You think they're going to give up on the cholesterol phobia? Eggs have cholesterol. Let me tell you something about your liver. Where does cholesterol come from, by the way? Okay? 2 sources. 2 sources. One, your body makes it. Your liver makes cholesterol. 85% of it. If you decide, like a vegan or a vegetarian, not to eat eggs, not to eat butter, not to eat meat, not to eat cheese, your liver will produce 100% of it. It has to. Your body will produce cholesterol coming from your liver. And then, of course, cholesterol in food is only found in the animal kingdom. It's not found in plants. It just isn't. But when someone in their thinking, and I've always showed you the history of it, Ancel Keys said the reason Dwight Eisenhower, the President of the United States, died of a heart attack is because of cholesterol. He was eating too much butter and too much steak and too much cheese. That's what he said. What he didn't take into the equation is Dwight Eisenhower, like my father, was smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day. I watched my dad as a kid. 4 packs of cigarettes a day. Buckingham. I remember it like it was yesterday. But President Eisenhower, he was smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day, and one day he was out golfing, and he had a massive heart attack. It pretty near killed him right on the spot. And there was a researcher in Minnesota. His name was Dr. Ansel Keys. He wasn't a dummy. He was smart, but he was smart stupid. Do you know what I mean? And he had a theory that he was working on. And when Eisenhower had the heart attack, he came out with it, and it hit the Time magazine. Now, you know, today, Time magazine, what's that mean? Don't mean nothing to most people. They don't read magazines anymore. But that used to be big. I remember as a kid, you know, we had a subscription to the Time magazine and Life magazine in our homes. Those were big. That was our media. I mean, you only had one channel or whatever on TV, or a couple. And, you know, you had magazines. And Time magazine went crazy. It's cholesterol. That's the problem. And medicine? Hook, line, and sinker. The food industry, they love that. Why? Because people like Unilever were making Crisco. You remember Crisco? Partially hydrogenated. They found a way to make cheap oil, man-made oil, that's synthetic, made for your car, not for your body, Crisco. And they found out how to take that oil and hydrogenate it, and it became solid. And they said, well, one thing about that oil, it won't elevate your cholesterol. And guys, the whole world went stupid. I hate to tell you. The whole world went stupid. The pharmaceutical companies said, well, cholesterol, we're going to lower. We're going to hammer it down. How do we do that? Well, we're going to find a drug that will lower cholesterol. And they invented statin drugs. The biggest scam, pretty close, biggest scam in medical history. Hasn't even put a dent into heart disease. Not even one iota. It's been a colossal failure. But if you go door to door in your community, want to try it? Do a little survey. Just say, go knock on the door and say, I'm doing a survey. What do you think the cause of heart disease is? And 99% of the population, I mean it, will say, it's cholesterol. It's cholesterol. It's bad fat. Cholesterol is fat, and it's bad. You see how the world got duped? You know, I lived long enough. The advantage of being my age, you know, is I watched it happen right before my eyeballs. As a kid, as a teenager. And as a student, I remember in the 70s taking 2,000 hours of nutrition. And I got taught the old way. Cholesterol bad. Fiber, fiber, fiber. Eat your fiber because you're not going to be able to go to the bathroom. And you see, one of the reasons that they push fiber is, oh, fiber lowers cholesterol. Well, that's not good. Why do you want to lower it? I always ask people, why do you want low cholesterol? Well, my doctor? I know, and I love your doctor too. I'm not saying don't love your doctor, but feel sorry for them. They got bad training. Butter isn't bad for you. Frosted mini wheats are bad for you. I don't care how much fiber they got in there. Frosted mini wheats. And, here's another headache and a half. Honey Nut Cheerios. Honey Nut. Oh, must be good, honey. Not so much. Not so much. Honey Nut Cheerios aren't good? Well, they might be good tasting, but they ain't good for you. You might as well have a chocolate bar. What's the difference? At least a chocolate bar, you know it's a snack. You know it's not good for you, but you eat them because why do I eat that? I like it. Okay. At least you're being honest. But you're not saying, I eat a chocolate bar because it's healthy. Guys, don't be confused. You know, they tell you to follow the science. It's science fiction. Don't follow science fiction. It was never true, not even from the get-go. So I wonder if they're going to invite me to the White House Conference on Nutrition. I'm not holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath. Wow. Here we are in 2022, and Frosted Mini Wheats, and Honey Nut Cheerios, and orange juice, and even, listen, if you think I'm crazy, listen to this. Even ice cream is higher on the food chain, according to these nutcases, than eggs cooked in butter and ground beef. I mean it, guys. I shouldn't laugh because it's sad, but I can't help seeing how crazy it is. You would think in this day of an enlightenment, but you see, they can't change because cholesterol medication, cholesterol lowering medication. Can I say this please again? Just say it, and I want to be very nice. Why do you want to have low cholesterol? Your brain is made up of cholesterol. Cholesterol your body makes. You need it. Every cell in your body needs cholesterol. Your brain needs cholesterol. Your eyeballs need cholesterol. Your blood vessels need cholesterol. You don't eat it. Now your liver's working overtime to make more of it. That's exactly how your body works. You're going to wear out your liver. And never mind your gallbladder. You better use it or lose it. You decide not to eat cholesterol, you're going to lose your gallbladder. Yeah. Because your gallbladder is a reservoir for bile. Bile is made from cholesterol. You need bile to emulsify fat. Let me double down on something. You're not a rabbit. Rabbits don't have a gallbladder. You do. Well, some of you don't. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you didn't use it. So it wasn't your fault. The world was telling you, don't eat fat, especially animal fat. Look at that egg. Look at the yolk. That yolk is yellow. Oh, that can't be good for you. A yellow yolk. When I go into the grocery store and I see egg whites, I get a migraine. When I see egg whites, I get a migraine. Why are you eating egg whites? All your vitamins are in the yolk. I mean, egg whites got protein, that's all right. But all your vitamins, all your B vitamins, all your choline. You need choline. It's an amino acid. Taurine. It's an amino acid. It's in the yolk. It's in the yellow. Pound for pound, eggs are probably the number one superfood, right in behind vitamin S, steak. There's more vitamins in the steak. Oh, I was laughing because you look for ground beef. You know, they put ground beef right at the bottom, you know, and of the so-called food chain. And you go to the grocery store and you can hardly find any ground beef that's not lean. Lean ground beef. Why do you want to have lean ground beef? Tell me why. Why is that so popular? Oh, I got ground beef, but it's lean. They took the fat out of it. They drained the fat. The fat's the best part. If fat don't make it fat. Fat don't clog up. Bad fat. Yeah, those trans fats. Crisco. Margarine. I was, you know, like I said, I'm a history buff. Like even in food. I was reading, you know, it's interesting. I don't want to get off off topic. It's too much, but I was reading a version of the history of margarine. Where did that start, by the way? Like margarine. And it was interesting because it started in France. Where, by the way, today, okay, in France, it's still the number one country for butter and fat is France. So this didn't really take over in Europe, but let me tell you where it came from. When you want to look at margarine, okay, that came out of France because, and I read it here. Let me give you a little bit of history of it. It was the Emperor Napoleon III in 1871, okay, 1871, because he wanted a cheaper source of butter for his troops. I guess he had to feed the army, and the army liked butter, and he said, I'm going to give a prize to anyone that can get us a substitute. I mean, you read this stuff and it's fascinating. I mean, this was in the 1800s, 1871. But let me tell you another thing, and this is just on the side, okay? Napoleon, in the 1870s, he wasn't a dummy. He wanted trees planted in the southern part of France. I know the history of that because of pine bark extract. And anyway, he actually planted millions of trees in the southern part of France. Apparently he had a castle down there that when he'd go to in the winter. And he wanted trees, more trees. And you know what? Out of that came pine bark extract. Anyway, so he did something good. But he wanted something cheaper for butter. He wanted a substitute. And he had like a contest. Seriously. And a chemist, listen to this guy's name, okay? Because Hippolyte. Now, I don't know, would you ever name your son Hippolyte? That's what this guy's first name was. He was a French chemist. Hippolyte. What was his last name? Mourier. Hippolyte Mourier. I was laughing when I read the name. I'm sorry if he happens to be in your family tree. Don't laugh with me. Okay? He won the prize. You know why? Because he invented margarine. And he sold it to, you know, what's going on over in the Netherlands right now. What are they doing? The Dutch farmers. They're screaming blue murder. And they're protesting because they don't want to lose their farms. Good for them. I'm with the farmer all the way. I told a farmer the other day, I'm your best friend. You owe me money. He didn't understand what I was saying until I told him about my podcast and how I talk about eggs, meat, and cheese all the time. He said, oh, you do? Yeah, I said, I do. You owe me money. I've been advertising for you farmers for a long time. Let's get back to the farm. Let's not get rid of the farm. Let's get back to farming. Ooh. Anyways, this guy sold his invention to a Dutch company. What were they called? Jergens. Jergens became Unilever. And they invented Crisco and margarine. Remember Crisco? Do they still sell it? I guess they do. They must, right? Do they? Okay? Your pies and cakes and pastries, Crisco. That's the history, guys. Did they ever think it would take off like it did? Like that people would believe the lie about butter and use margarine? But it all comes, you know, then the fast foods, of course, they love this. McDonald's, in the 1960s, seriously, they didn't use hydrogenated oil. They were using tallow. They actually cooked their fries in healthy oil. And then the food police got on them. You can't use that oil. It's got cholesterol in it. You got to get rid of that oil and use our hydrogenated oil because, well, it's cheaper, no cholesterol, and thirdly, you won't have to change your oil as often. You can cook and recook and reheat and recook in this oil. You won't have to change it very often. The food police. Seriously. And the rest is history, my friend. And where are we today? We got the twin towers of diabetes. You think that just happened due to osmosis? Do you think that just happened by chance? That didn't happen by chance, my friend. As we focused in on lowering cholesterol, we became carboholics and bad oil-olics, if I can say that word. And it wasn't really until, I don't know, the 1990s that even anyone was listening to trans fats and hydrogenated oil and how bad they were for you. But even today, my friend, these companies are so big. Good luck. And that's why for me, when I speak to my audience, I just want you to understand that. Don't be confused. Because I'm going to guarantee you on our private Facebook group this week, I guarantee it. We won't get past today. People will be asking the question. That's all right. I want them to be educated. I want them to ask questions. I want them to think on their own. They're going to say, I'm confused. Because Dr. Martin tells me to eat eggs, meat, and cheese, and my dietitian, my doctor, my whatever tells me I shouldn't be eating those things. I'm confused. Well, one of them, my friend, is propaganda. It's indoctrination. It's not science. It's science fiction. Don't be confused. You know? And like I said, I guarantee it'll come this week. People can't understand because of their indoctrination. They can't understand the reset. They can't understand it. How can that be good for me, Dr. Martin, that I am eating eggs every day? How many eggs can I eat? 100? Don't count. Enjoy. Why are you counting? Calories? Why are you counting calories? It's not calories. It's nutrient density. It's how good that food is for you. You don't have to count calories. Calories was made up by the food industry. Yeah. The world out there, my friend, wants you to be carboholics. They want you to live on carbs, and they want you to live on fruits and vegetables. You know, partially they're right. I don't have trouble with vegetables. I don't have trouble with limited fruit and vegetables. I don't. Limited. And never drink it. Don't drink fruit. Because they got orange juice here on this scale way above eggs cooked in butter. See how I get rid, guys? I'm going to tell you my therapy, okay? I need therapy. I'm in therapy right this now. You know what my therapy is? talking to you guys. I got to get it out of my system. Otherwise, I'm going to go crazy. What a failed experiment. What a social experiment we've been on for, how many years is that? 60? Isn't it crazy? Anyway, guys, you know better. You know better. Okay. Okay. So we got a great week. I got some good stories here, good studies and articles and things we will bring to you this week. You can send your questions in. Don't be shy, and I mean it. Don't be shy about asking questions, okay? Don't be shy. We appreciate it. We love our question and answer Friday, okay? So we got a great week coming. If you're not a member of the private Facebook group, please join us at Martin Clinic Facebook. You can share this podcast. You can tell people who can't watch it you can share it with them on Facebook, or you can get them to download the podcast. The Doctor is in podcast. Okay. Thank you for making that a very, very popular podcast. That's you guys. Okay. And did I tell you I love you guys? Thanks for being therapeutic for me. Okay, we'll talk to you soon.